Welcome back to this Introduction to Programming in Visual Basic for Applications. In this video, we will have a quick recap of what we have learned so far. The Integrated Development Environment is a software application that provides comprehensive facilities to computer programmers for software development. While there are many standalone IDE applications, we will be using the onboard IDE attached to Microsoft Office products. Each of the applications in the Microsoft Office suite have a slightly different way of accessing the IDE through menus. For instance, it is located in the Developer menu for Microsoft Excel. However, the keyboard shortcut is the same for all applications, and therefore I would suggest that you get in the habit of using it. The keyboard shortcut is Alt F11. Probably the most important thing you need to know in the IDE is how to run your code. The Run button is quite visible as a green triangle on the taskbar, akin to the play button for any of you old enough to have had a VCR during your lives. The F5 key will also run your code. Code can be run one line at a time. This can be useful for identifying where things go wrong or better understanding how it works. By pressing F8, you will run your code one line at a time. You will then need to hit F8 again for each line of code. When code is running, holding the Control and Break keys will stop the code from running. The Break key is located above the Page Up key on your keyboard. The three main code blocks you will be using are subs, functions, and classes. Each of these have unique characteristics which make them useful for different tasks. However, in some cases they can be used interchangeably. Classes are a programmable object used to establish an object, and we will discuss these at a later time. Functions are a code block that receives input and can provide an output. They can only be called from within other code blocks. Subs are code blocks that can be called by the user either directly from the IDE or via buttons, etc. within your application. Subs can receive an input value but cannot produce an output value. While this is not an exhaustive list, the most common variables that you will be working with are string, boolean, date, integer, long, and double. Strings can contain all character types and are very versatile. Integer and long can only contain whole numbers. Single and double can contain decimal numbers. Date can contain dates and times, and Boolean are strictly a true or false. Beyond the normal mathematical operators you would remember from grade school, there are three common commands that you are likely to come across when working with numbers in VBA. The int command will return the integer value of the number fed into it. The rnd command will provide a random number, and the round command will round a value to the nearest placeholder you specify. While this is not an exhaustive list, these are the most common commands you will utilize while working with strings. String manipulation presents you with many interesting ways to build your programs and automate tasks. I would suggest spending time in becoming comfortable with these commands. len or len returns the number of characters in the string. Left, right, and mid allow you to extract certain parts of the string. Replace allows you to replace characters or groups of characters in a string with others. InString or INSTR allows you to check if a character sequence appears in a string, and if so, where it is located. Again, while not exhaustive, these are the most useful date and time related commands that you will be using in your code. Date returns today's system date. Now returns the exact system date and time. Weekday identifies what day of the week a particular date is, while day, month, and year allow you to extract just that part of a date. Do loops are generally assembled like this. A number variable is used for iteration and tested against a set condition. This is done either as do until the condition is met, or do while the condition is met. If the condition is met, the code in the loop runs. Otherwise, the code resumes at the next instruction after the loop. For loops specify a range in the test, and the iteration is performed by the next at the end of the loop rather than a mathematical command for the increment. This can also be used with objects. Logic in programming allows the code to make simple decisions based on outlined parameters. For instance, if you want your program to show any positive number as black and any negative number as red, this requires a logic step. The concept can be expanded almost indefinitely to the fringes of true artificial intelligence, and its value cannot be understated. The core of logic in VBA is the if statement, with a number of other commands to expand its use. The common conversion commands and their respective check commands are listed here. While this is again not an exhaustive list, this does cover the vast majority of data type conversions that you will need to know as you begin developing your own code. Converting data to other data types will become essential as you develop more and more complicated applications. Thank you for joining us for Module 1. Hopefully we will have new material out to you soon.